Hey guys! So this video is based on the English Literature paper 1 for Macbeth and Jekyll and Hyde in my case, but I mean if you do different books I think this can still be quite useful. For A, how to revise English Lit, because I mean it's quite complicated because it's not content based, you can't just learn stuff, it goes a bit deeper than that. And then also how to structure a 30 mark / 34 mark question, because that can get quite difficult as well, especially when you're in strict time conditions. So hopefully this will help you with that, because I mean I'm not an expert, but I did get a grade 9 in my mock, and the paper I've got here is a question that I've done which is got 33 out of 34. So I mean close enough to full marks, top band. So hopefully it can just help you figure out a good way to structure your answer. I mean this might not work for everybody, and I'm not saying you have to do this structure to get top band, but I mean it's worked for me and I think it could work for other people as well. And I mean we're taught it in my top set class, so if you're in my class you'll know this structure anyway, but I mean it's always helpful. Okay, a bit of information. This is the English Lit paper 1, which is 50% of the English Lit GCSE. There is 2 questions. One question is a Shakespeare text, so mine's Macbeth. Second question is 19th century text, so mine is Jekyll and Hyde. And the exam is on the 15th of May 2019 for us. So that's fun, can't wait for that. Anyway, how I revise for English Lit is, number 1, please read your set text, not once, not twice, 3 or 4 times in total. Because, I mean, for me, you can't read a book once and then understand it completely enough to write a top line answer. That's not how it works. You need to read it 3 or 4 times, but not consistently over a time. So, like, I read both of my set texts before we studied them, and then obviously whilst you go through them in class, and then extra a few times. So for our mock next week, if you can, try and read both books before the exam. Just kind of like half an hour before you go to bed, because it will add up, and they're only quite short, both of the text, so you should be able to get through it. And I know that's quite passive revision, but if you want to make it more active, you can annotate as you go along. You can put post-it notes in, maybe mark in certain themes. There's quite a few ways to make it more active if you don't like such passive revision. Also, quote flashcards. I have quite cute little tubs here, which I think are adorable, for Macbeth and Jekyll and Hyde, so I'll just quickly show you. Again, this is all up to you how you want to do it, but I mean you need to learn quotes. You need to put quotes in to get anywhere near top band, good marks. So learn your quotes, kids. The best way to do them for me is like this. Okay, they're a bit unorganised, but basically how I do them, I'll have the character on the front and then where it comes from. So this will be Act 1, Scene 5, yeah. Act 1, Scene 5. And then on the back, I have the quote in black. So, come you spirits that tender mortal thoughts, unsex me here, etc. And then just a little bit of detail at the bottom, just to give it kind of some context. I've just put theme of masculinity. And then for techniques and language, I've just commented on the quote, diary's cruelty, and said it's a superlative and it's exclamatory, because it's got an exclamation mark. So that's how I generally do them. So I've got quite a few here going through. So that'll be Act 2, Scene 3. And then I have the same for Jekyll and Hyde. It's just a good way to learn quotes, because you can flick through them wherever, in the car, at home, on a train, on a plane. Whatever you're doing, you can look at them quite easily and then hopefully try and learn them, because obviously this is quite a thick stash. I'm not expecting to know these off by heart, but even, okay, I've snapped the elastic band, we'll ignore that. But just to like know your quotes quite well and just have an idea on them, then you should be okay. So you don't have to learn hundreds for each, but you want to have a good wide knowledge of quotes to help you in whatever question you could be asked and whatever point you're going to try and argue. So also, again, this is up to you, but for me, I like written notes. So I've got, here's what I made earlier. I've got an example here for Macbeth. This is, I'm not sure if you can read that, every scene analysis and quotes. So I'll just write the act. So Act 1, Scene 1. And then as we go down, I have quotes in green and then just information in black regarding whatever's happening. So when I'm writing an essay, I can look at this and look for whatever act I'm writing about, whatever character, and then be able to go from there. So for example, this just starts with Act 1, Scene 1. Thunder and lightning, pathetic fallacy, implies doom, chaos and tragedy, and establishes the theme of the supernatural. So just quite simple, but I've gone through and then done it for the entire play, so that's fun. And then you can do that how you want. So I mean, I think some people would rather do mind maps or flashcards, which is another way of doing it. So this is for Jekyll and Hyde now. So I made these about a year ago, and if I'm being honest, I don't use these that much, but I mean, people like to revise in different ways. So if you'd rather revise from flashcards, then here's an example. So this doesn't go through the play structurally, it's more characters and themes. So we have Jekyll here, just some information. I've put he's ambitious, respectable and troubled. And then it's just a bit of information about him with quotes. So, importance of reputation, he is fond of the respect of the wise and good. Has bad within him, so he was wild when he was young, but feels guilty about it, morbid sense of shame. So you get the idea. So just little bits of stuff about Jekyll if you get a question relating to Jekyll. It probably won't be how is Jekyll presented, but anything relating to him, you've got information there, and you can also relate that to themes like reputation, dual nature, etc. Okay, and then also practice papers, practice questions, practice, because this paper is 2 exam style essay questions where it'll just give you one question, you've got to write about it. So the best way to revise is just to practice this structure, which I'm going to go through in a minute. So practice questions you can get online. You can get, if you look at the sample papers, you can look at the 2017 papers. 2018 ones are locked, I think, but you can find a way. 2016 papers, you can make up your own questions, ask teachers for questions. There's a very long, extensive, wide range of questions out there for you to do. So have fun with that. Also, people would say do them in time conditions. I would say yes, you need to practice timing, but also do a few not in time conditions just so you can get your structure right and you can kind of prove to yourself that you can write a good essay, and then from that you can work your way up to doing them in 50 minutes. Okay, now how I structure a 30-mark question. So number 1